Hey everyone, it's Ivan, kitbadger.com, out here with my course Loadout from the AMTAC shooting, 2-day pistol, carbine, integrative combatives, and night vision block. Lots of stuff going on, right? Well, in part, it was his first class he taught at a new facility, so wanted to try some stuff out. That was kind of the addition of the night vision block. Not a lot of places you can do cool stuff at night, but we'll start with layers and things like that. Weather was actually terrible. Came in the night before, there's like hoarfrost everywhere, and I think it was, I don't know, it got down to like 20 degrees. Then that next day, didn't really get much better. It was really cold, snowing, and like a wet, damp, freezing fog. Pretty cold. But ended up wearing these right here. Hey, back. Ended up wearing these right here. These are my Salomon Tundra. They're great. They're kind of the best thing I've found as far as actual cold weather boots for doing stuff. Moving up from there, had I think some Merino socks, probably 0.6. And then we were going to be doing pistol stuff, so I wanted to ideally not have huge layers on because it's going to be drawing concealed. So ended up wearing these. These are by Tactical Distributors, forget the name, put a link in there. I like them in that they're pretty warm. They're basically this grid fleece, and they're essentially a thermal, but they're cut like an outer pant that you would never wear as an outer pant because they're cut in form fitting like a thermal, which is weird to me, but as a layer, they worked well. And then these, I've reviewed these before. These are the Testa Softshell pants by Beyond. Probably my favorite, kind of backcountry, cold weather. They're really nice, lined. These I've had for a long time, and I ended up actually busting the zipper over on this side. So as a consequence, don't use them in the backcountry too much, but what they do allow now, since that's already broken, is to go ahead and put like a pocket blade in there, which we got into with integrative combatives. Ended up working well for me. And then belt I'm actually wearing right now. It's the core belt, kind of their concealed carry, and did a great job. Up from there, wore some sort of t-shirt, and then this guy right here, which is such a great layer. This is the Alpha Aura jacket by Beyond. Reviewed it before, really nice and soft and warm. However, the wind will cut through it, so will water. So on top of that, I wore this right here by Sitka. This is their, I'm blanking on the name right now. It is one of their down jackets though, and it is not waterproof. It's water resistant though. Does a great job, especially being able to layer. So had this on there. And then, because I'm actually gonna put this on now. Warmer. This right here, this is my AG watch cap by Prometheus Design Works. Pretty sure I wore it pretty much the entire time. And then ended up wearing these right here. This is my level 7 by Beyond. These are by Wild Things Gear. This is the happy suit that the Marine Corps adopted. It's their high loft, really nice and warm. Primaloft gold insulation. Reviewed these before. I will say I tried to not wear these, not because I didn't want to wear them, but because in wearing them made it even harder to access the pistol. And I think I did actually wear these even when we were doing pistol work on day 2. I made it work. It was one of those, do I want to be cold or easier access to my pistol? And I didn't want to be cold, so wore these here. As far as personal protective equipment and a few other things, wore these right here. 1, ballistic, and 2, wear prescription. So these are my Smith Director Elite with some Zeiss prescription ballistic lenses. Did great. For Ear Pro, Surefire EP4, EP5, can't remember, but these did good for just inner hearing protection most of the time. During the night vision block, I'll get to that, but basically was wearing something different. And then, man, do you want to be able to feel your trigger better, or do you want to just be able to feel your trigger? Because even though you can feel your trigger better without gloves. Very quickly, you just can't feel your trigger because your hands get too cold. So opted for gloves. These right here, these are great. Probably one of my favorites. These are the Presscheck Assault Gloves by SKD Tactical. They did a good job for me. Pretty much wore them, I think, the entire time. Again, just trying to keep my hands warm so I could actually safely manipulate the gun. Other things I used. This right here. This is the carbon fiber tripod by Ultradyne, and then they also make this block up top. You can remove it, of course. It basically fits on Arca rail. And I ended up using this because we were basically confirming zero. And yeah, that is the time you want to cheat as much as you can, get as stable as possible. So use this, definitely helped. I mean, I didn't change anything on my zero. I was good to go, but allowed me to shoot a good group and basically get confidence with that setup. Then this guy right here, this bucket, it's pretty cool. It's made by Dillon Rifle Company, and it was made for helicopters. So you clip this bucket in and you can basically access magazines all around it, and then when you're done, you throw them in there. So that's basically how I use this. I think I have, I don't know, probably 10 or 12 magazines, filled them all up before, had them in all these pouches, just take it up to the firing line, shoot through whatever drills. As soon as I finished, drop them in there, done, which was really nice in part for myself, being able to have all those mags loaded so I could leisurely load magazines if I needed to. But then me doing my stuff, tripods, cameras, batteries, all that other stuff, it wasn't like this mad dash to load magazines, having them all kind of preloaded. So that actually worked out really well. Which brings us to night vision and stuff. As I mentioned, that block got kind of added onto the class because of the location, and it was actually really amazing. So some of the people there at the class had a bunch of clip-on, thermal, night vision, all kinds of stuff. And so as a result, the entire class was able to go out on this big firing line, clear all the weapons out, and get a look through everything, which was really neat. Being able to check out, I mean, pretty much everything, like all of your commercially available thermals, clip-on night vision devices, everything like that. And it was really cool. Pretty neat. Like, rarely do you have that opportunity. The other thing we were able to do also is, again, safe all the guns, pull bolts, stuff like that. Have people go out and basically move along this kind of like ridge line and get to see if you could spot them in your night vision you're wearing, as well as all these different clip-ons to include thermals and stuff like that. So I had my setup, well, I had a couple different things going. One, I ended up bringing this setup right here. It's pretty cool. This is one of the bridges by Noisefighters. Really neat in that you can do all of the things. Hey, back. In that on the one side, on this side right here, I have a PVS 14. Over here, this is the StingIR by AGM Global. They're thermal, and so they're bridged. And it lets you basically swing one up, swing both up, or respectively keep them both down. I will say I've done some stuff with this. I love the idea of it, and it's pretty rough in practice. You give up a lot, like they're not culminated. What I have found is you can basically keep one down and just keep alternating. Trying to run with them both down, it's kind of a disaster. Gonna get a headache, and it just, again, not being culminated, it's pretty rough on the brain. But ended up playing with that some and letting other people check it out. The other thing is this ThermNight sight, both the thermal as well as night vision, and got to play with that. Pretty cool. Especially, I ended up taking Peanut for a walk, walked out on that ridge, and then like looking back at everyone that was back there, looking at us, but pretty cool. And then when we got to actually like the bulk of our shooting, because we did absolutely shoot, ended up wearing this setup right here. This right here by OpsCore, probably if you're not going to wear a ballistic helmet because you need ballistic protection, probably the best thing going. Really nice and comfortable, and you can still attach accessories if needed. By way of example, have my OpsCore amps on there, and then Wilcox G24 Mount. Then this right here is my DTNVS by Licentia arms. Amazing tubes in there. Gen 3 L3 filmless. Right here, Grec X mission recorder. Lets me capture stuff through the tube. And then on here, I have these Phokus research caps, which rarely do I use because more often than not, I'm like, I want all the light. Because of, by the time we were shooting that night, even though it was snowing most of the day, it had lightened up and the cloud cover had lightened up also. And the moon wasn't full, but it was definitely pushing a lot of illume. So it let me keep these down, which was really nice because when you use these, basically it opens up your depth of field a lot that you can actually like focus in. And actually did some shooting with my irons with these two, which kind of wild, but yeah, setup worked well. Which then brings me to my pistol setup and stuff. So ended up actually shooting this right here, which is the new Echelon 4.0 compact in the setup by Safariland. This is the, what is it, Incog X. So ended up shooting this pistol. It honestly did a really good job for me. No issues whatsoever. I enjoyed shooting it. Optic on here did pretty good. Their Defender ST by Vortex. Was able to also turn this way down, which was nice, being able to actually shoot this under nods. There was no low light, so, and I didn't have a holster for it, so obviously wasn't shooting any type of like white light or anything like that. But yeah, I was pleased. Did a good job for me in that class. If there's something, well, two things. One, they ship with 2 magazines, which is great for no one. Like, it boggles my mind that people still ship pistols with 2 magazines. Come on, guys. At least 3, if not 5, but whatever. Basically had a pocket full of ammo. So on the line, I would have to continually reload a magazine. Do better, Springfield Armory. But like I said, it worked well. Personal preference, I actually really do not like appendix. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It's not a personal attack on all you people that shoot appendix. If you end up carrying blades, I don't find it works as well because one, you pretty much have all your tools right here. And then now where do you have your blades? Chances are they're, again, bunched up with the rest of your tools, especially if you have a mag caddy, something like that on there. But did that, made it work. When it got into the integrative combatives portion, ended up basically ditching this whole setup because one, I don't have a blue gun for it, and two, got in the way of how I usually carry my tools, i.e. a fixed blade. This right here is the Minuteman by AMTAC blades, and usually carry this other strong side basically right there. And of course, have a trainer for it. And then on my pocket sheath, need to finish my review on this guy right here, but this is the Beckwith Covert by Fisher Blades, and again have a trainer for that. So basically have blade in a pocket sheath over there, and then other strong side, have fixed blade there, which again, swap this stuff out, just that holster and whatnot for the integrative combatives part, and yeah, stuff worked well. Which brings me to my rifle setup. We're shooting this right here. This is the M4 E1 Pro by Aero Precision. It is their new turnkey rifle, full ambi lower, as well as their new handguard. It's pretty sweet. 16-inch barrel. On here I have a cherry bomb, so I can run this can. This is their Lahar. They also have a K can, as well as a long can Lahar, 30 cal. Actually sounds really good. I have a Plan B on there. And then, why not get some reps shooting irons? So shooting these right here, these are actually by Scalarworks. They're their folding iron sights. Right here is the Penumbra, might be pronouncing that right, by AMMJ. It is a laser, IR illuminator, and Viz laser. Bunch of controls back here, fire button up top. Did that, worked well. Right here is the Tiger Claw by Die Free Company, as well as their grip back there. Running a bunch of different mags, and the sling, 2-point sling, captured, totally blanking on the name. I'll put it in there. But yeah, basically shot this setup. Why shoot irons with a laser? Well, in part because I'm in the business of reviewing things, and if you're going to review backup iron sights, how often do you have to go to backup iron sights? So this was basically 2 days of repping out shooting with irons, which I actually really enjoy. I shoot them pretty well. We got to do some positional shooting too, from basically kind of a prop line. This thing did great. It wasn't crazy far. It's probably, I don't know, 100, 150 yards, but it was like 5-inch circles, so not super generous. And yeah, this thing is pretty cool. Something else I like is being able to essentially go over or through things and then load into that, which worked well. Yeah, all of it honestly did pretty good through that class. Coming away from that class, anything I would have changed out or done differently? Not really. I mean, as I mentioned, would have got some more mags. I actually tried to. Local gun store, East County Guns, good guys in there. They tried to order some. All they could get at this point was the regular Echelon mags, which, I don't know, maybe they would fit. They're like 17 rounders, but no. That would have been nice. As I mentioned, not a huge fan of appendix carry because of carrying blades and other things like that, but it was good. Got reps on it. Definitely rough working through, especially one-handed draw strokes, trying to clear all those layers, get this guy up, but yeah, fought through it. Good reps. Everything on the rifle side worked well. And again, I actually enjoy shooting irons. Kind of cut my teeth on it in the Marine Corps with the M16A2. So yeah, pretty much good stuff all around. But there'll be links down below if you want to check any of this stuff out. And as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.